Hello everybody, I didn't know whether it was live then. Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. We're back. It's a pre-season game. It's Manchester United's first pre-season game and it is against Leeds in Oslo. We've got the team news for you. The team will be kicking off in half an hour. It's very weirdly exciting. I think pre-season, especially the first game, it's weird for me as well because I'm moving out across my screen. I'm not used to having that the live score bit there either. So yeah, it's exciting. Great to be here. I hope you're all very excited as well. Before we get into everything, don't forget we're sponsored by OneFootball and you can listen to this.
Football fanatics, get ready. The United Stand pre-season tour is here, powered by OneFootball, the ultimate app for live scores, transfers and match stats. Download now. No one gets you closer.
Big shout out to OneFootball for sponsoring our tour content. Welcome to the Members Club via Zen. Remember, you can download OneFootball for free, get all your latest Manchester United breaking news, transfer news, all the stats. Absolutely incredible. Let's get into this. Look, we are a little bit rusty ourselves. We've not done a watch along since the FA Cup, and that still feels a bit fresh. But yeah, we're just used to sitting back and talking about Onana. We're not used to having to integrate and get everything ready. So let's have a look at our first watch along. Let's have a look at Manchester United's first team. I say let's have a look. I can't put it up on the screen for you because we're just not prepped to do that yet. But what I can do is I can give you the actual lineup. Let me see if I can show you that on screen, at least give you something visual on this fantastic Wednesday afternoon that we have for you. Let me just get this going. We've got a few comments as well. Ten Hag. Where is it? So here we go. Let me get this on the screen for you. Manchester United, publish and live, and take that. So there you go. Manchester United's lineup is on the screen. Let's remove that piece of shit. You can get out the way. Starting lineup against Leeds. Tom Heaton will be in goal. Aaron Wan-Bissaka will be at right back with Varane and Martinez. Fernandes on loan last season was at Preston. He plays at left back. You've got Mainu, Mount and Hannibal as a midfield three, we would presume. I don't know who will hold the midfield. Maybe Mainu. Maybe that's an interesting one to keep an eye on. And then Ahmad, Sancho and Forson as the front three. Don't know much about Forson. I think he's an attacking midfielder. Presumably, he would play as the central player. Not 100% sure on that, but maybe somebody in the chat can let us know. But yeah, that's sort of how we're looking at for Manchester United's lineup. And, you know, it's relatively interesting, I think. I mean, say relatively interesting. It's going to be relatively interesting to see how it pans out. Jan Carlson, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks everyone who's joining the Members Club and getting involved. Please do subscribe to the channel as well, Daniel Derbyshire. Yeah, don't know a lot about Forson. I thought he was an attacking midfielder. Will Kobe Mainu be playing at CDM? Going to be interesting to see as well. Good to see you again, buddy. Glad it's back, says JM Gaming Videos. Noskin, thank you very much for being a member for 12 months. And Forson is the new Forlan, says Russ. Yeah, it's like Hoyland's the new Haaland, isn't it? Yeah, it sounds similar, so that'll work. Hope we don't loan Ahmad out again. Really want to see him in the team this season. Looks like an exciting player. Do have a little bit of transfer news for you as well to get into. Nothing majorly breaking, but just a bit about João Felix and Rasmus Højlund as well. There we go. Forson is an attacking midfielder who's also played on the wing. I suspect he'll be playing as a false nine, says MKF. Free Donny, says Spodder. Well, Donny is injured like Martial. So there we go. Good mix of youth and experience. Looks good to the future. Look, I tell you what, I'm genuinely excited about this game today. You know, I've not watched any football. I haven't watched a football game since the Cup final. Not interested in international football. Didn't watch the under-21s. Couldn't give a toss. I'm a Manchester United fan. I'm a Premier League fan. I like the Champions League. I'll watch the Euros. I'll watch the World Cup. And that's it. And to be watching a game today, I'm really excited because I haven't watched one for a while. But also, I'm just excited to keep an eye on these young players and see what they can do. I think it's quite interesting. It's very interesting, actually, that Fernandez is playing at left back when we've got that. What's his name? Brandon Williams. So yeah, we've got to obviously bear that in mind. Hi Mark, excited for the first game. Come on United, says Rigard, and hope we don't loan Ahmad out again. Yeah, we've done that from Itzcar. So I think just looking at that team again, and I can certainly put that back on the screen for you because I want to show you the subs in a moment as well. But looking at that team again and reassessing it, I think that the things that stand out to me is like Man United need a holding midfielder. I think Leeds will give us a bit of a game in the sense that, you know, there's a rivalry there. It's pre-season. You can do what you want with it, really. Mount's not a holding midfielder, as we know, and I don't think he will be playing that position. I think that Hannibal's not a holding midfielder either, so maybe Mainoo's going to play that role. And if he is going to play that role, I think it's rather interesting to see how he does in that position, considering we definitely do need somebody there. Now, I'm not for 1 minute going to start saying that Kobbie Mainoo is going to be the solution to Manchester United's Casemiro backup, but we spoke about this morning, and the bottom line is quite simple. This United side definitely has got opportunities in it. There is always opportunities under Eric Ten Hag. So I'm excited, and I'm glad that Brandon Williams isn't playing and that Fernandez is, because I think that's a demonstration of a player that I mentioned this morning that could well end up being the player that breaks through. But there's a few players that could break through. A lot of people think it could be Kobbie Mainoo. A lot of people think it could be somebody else. But I'm interested by that. Very interested by it. Mainoo is Casemiro's understudy, says B Lighting. I think that Mainoo's more of an attacking midfielder than a defensive midfielder, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. It's certainly going to be interesting to see how he does. The interesting thing about young players is they can go from looking quite lightweight to looking like they're physically ready in the space of a summer. Yeah, I think it has to be a false 9 today, Jaden, because there's not really anything else we can do. Off to India from Switzerland for my wedding on the 24th. My only wish is that the Glazers sell and get out. Hope we have a good game, says DK. Yeah, thanks for all the super chats. Don't forget to smash a like on the video and subscribe. We need to give Isaac game time. He will shine. Also, Mark, your thoughts on that Parker lad going to City, says Atava. I think, you know, he's 16. These things do tend to happen, don't they? Hi, Mark. What's your score prediction? I've got no bloody idea. Got absolutely no idea, to be honest. Hopefully we do get a few goals, but, you know, I don't really know which way it's going to go in that sense. I'm just looking forward to seeing some players, how they do, and hopefully we get some good performances. Etu, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. But look, let me show you the bench as well. There will obviously be something that really screams out at us, and we should all acknowledge, is that there will probably be a whole different team that comes out in the second half. On the bench, you've got Bishop and Cover, who are both goalkeepers. Then you get into the defenders. Bennett, Fish, Gerardo, Williams. Collier is a good young player to keep an eye on, actually. Into the midfield, Gore, I like him. Hansen, as you mentioned. Oyedele, Charlie Savage, Sheretire, Emeren's a striker, and Hugo's a striker. So it'll be a very different team in the second half, but it will exclusively be young players. Interesting, I suppose, that Brandon Williams is in that team and Fernandez is in the more senior team. But of course, we're hardly a senior team anyway. We don't actually have a lot of senior players out there. So there we go. Otto, thank you for being a member. Thank you for being a member for 11 months. Really appreciate that. We'll have to play a false 9 today. Yes. I mean, look, I know a lot of things. I don't know everything. Apparently Lindelof is in Mykonos. Apparently Bruno was in Portugal yesterday. I actually wrongly thought, football is back, Al Harar, says Otto. I wrongly thought, maybe somebody in the chat knows, I thought Maguire and McTominay and Bruno and Rashford and everybody was back this week. I don't think they are. I don't think they are back this week. I've not seen any pictures of them. I don't think they are back this week. Well, certainly in some of the cases they're not, because Lindelof's not. So, maybe they're not even back until, I don't know, maybe Friday, maybe next week. But yeah, they're not there. Maud, you're not blocked. I can see you. Game kicks off at 25 to 4. 4 o'clock UK time. So we'll be ready to go with that very, very soon. The lineup, I've put it on the screen twice. I'm not going to do it again. We'll do it again in a moment. But effectively, Tom Heaton's in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Fernandez, Mainu, Mount, Hannibal, Ahmad, Sancho, and what was the lad? Forlan, not Forlan. Foreman. Oh, I forgot his name. Somebody in the chat will know. There we go. Forson, that was it. Forson, there we go. So yeah, thank you everybody for that. I could see us losing today then for the typical Glazer positivity we announce Anana, says Kevin. Mate, I don't want to be seen to be defending the Glazers here, but do you give a shit if we lose? I don't give a shit if we lose every single preseason game. It means absolutely nothing to me. Absolutely nothing at all. What you're looking for here, what we have here is just the opportunity for people to have a run out. It's Forson. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We are only 50 subscribers away from 688,000. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with the United Stand. We're back with watch-alongs, and we're back moving towards the start of the season now. Here we go. Really excited about it. I hope you are as well. This is the bread and butter of the United Stand community, sitting and watching a game together and having a chat. The score won't really matter. I'll just give you the Leeds team just to have a bit of an idea about them. Remember, they got relegated, but some of these players will be well known to you. You will remember some of the names. You won't be seeing them next season, but you will remember some of them. I'm just going to try and get their lineup for you. Why have they got no tweets? What's going on with Twitter? Why have Leeds United got no tweets on their Twitter account? I can't see any tweets. It's weird. Anyone got the Leeds team? Anyone? One Football, great place to go and have a look. Absolutely spot on. Cannot see the Leeds lineup anywhere. Which is odd. Not sure why. Anyway, got a few quotes from Ten Hag for you. Man United is famous, bringing your young kids to above playing the first team. Last year, Garnacho made it. I always hope for a minimum of one player to come into our squad and make minutes and even compete for starting 11 position. So, who will be that one, maybe two player that comes into the first team squad this season? On Mason Mount, his ambition is to play offensively, but also he wants to be multifunctional. He wants to compete and be complete. And when you're playing in midfield, you have to attack, but also defend. I'm sure he'll bring a dynamic into our midfield department, which is great. And I'm sure, yeah. Well, look, I think in relation to Mason Mount and Eric Ten Hag, it's fair to say what I said this morning. Beth and our producer were sat with Darren Fletcher on the plane over to Oslo. And whilst he wouldn't give anything away about transfers and everything, he did say that they're very, very excited about Mason Mount. Hi, Mark. What's your thoughts on Will Fish going to Hibs again, says Hibs. I think it's a good signing for Hibs, but I don't think he's getting. Look, he's not good enough to play for Manchester United, let's be honest. Sometimes you've got to be blunt. Are you worried about the volume of games United are playing this pre-season? Most of the teams are playing 4 or 5 games, says Drexel. I think we're playing a lot of games in pre-season. I don't know why we're doing it. I mean, look, I'm not particularly bothered by it. If I was a coach and I was looking to implement a new style of football, then I would want to play as many games as possible because you learn more in games than you do in training. But at the moment, the only thing we're trying to implement is Mason Mount. Like, we haven't made any new signings. We've got the same players as last year. So, yeah, I mean, is it commercial from Manchester United or is it from Ten Hag? I don't know. Maybe that'd be a very, very good question to ask Ten Hag because, there is a lot of pre-season games. I personally don't mind watching them, but I would hope that we're using them for more than fitness. Do you think in any way dodgy having a friendly against a bitter rival after they were relegated? Hopefully played in a good spirit, says Rory. Good point, Rory. Yeah, excited to see Mount for the first time and see how Mainu performs. Says Hard, and thank you very much for that. And the best time to lose games is in pre-season because you learn more about yourselves and have the chance to fix up any issues before the season starts, says Navin. Well, look, if you look at the senior players in that team, you've got Martinez, Varane, Wan-Bissaka in the defence. You've got Mount in the midfield and you've got Sancho in the attack. You've then got younger players like Fernandes at left back, Hannibal and Mainu in the midfield, and Forson and Ahmad in the attack. So ultimately, you know, you are looking to your senior players. You'll be looking to your defence. We should be strong in the defence. You'll be looking to your midfield. You know, Mount's got to step up in his first game, and Jadon Sancho needs to step up. And I think that, you know, there's a good mixture of youth and attack in that team. And I'm excited to see, you know, how it develops. Just a little bit of transfer news for you, because we were going to approach kickoff very, very quickly. On Rasmus Højlund, they have they've got, so I'm just reading it here. So you've got Romano basically saying that no official bid from Manchester United has gone in yet. However, personal terms not a problem. Højlund wants to come. There is mention of PSG, but no official bid from Manchester United, and effectively their focus is on Onana. I mean, look, I'm not worried about the PSG story. I'm not worried about the focus being on Onana or Mount. I'll just repeat what I said on last night's 8 o'clock show. We haven't had a striker since Ronaldo left 9-10 months ago. Why is it we think a goalkeeper and Mason Mount is more of a priority than the striker? Funky Monkey's thick and says, hotter than the sun. Mate, did I say he'll sign by July the 12th? Did I say he'll sign by August the 12th? No. Did I say Man United want to sign Højlund and it's very advanced and it's hotter than the sun? Yes. Has it been confirmed by Fabrizio and every other UK journalist? Yes. Sit down, you total twat, because I was right and you were wrong. And that's what hurts. That's what burns, isn't it? I was right, you're wrong, I was right. I said it way before anybody else, and I know why I said it, because I was right. And it was from really good information, and it really hurts you that I'm right. But what I never said is he will sign by July the 12th. I didn't say that. I don't know when he's going to sign. Fabrizio Romano was on the show for 6 months telling you that Kim Min-jae was a deal that United were very, very confident about and been working on. He now plays for Bayern Munich. You can't criticise people who have very, very good information about who United want and then United don't sign them because they're incompetent. That's not on us, is it? How is it that our recruitment team has not prioritised the strikers, says Anthony? Well, exactly. I just don't get it. Like it's not like goals don't win your games, is it? Score prediction, Mark says not. I don't know. Which young player are you most excited seeing? I'm most excited about Mainu, says Oscar. Well, let us know in the chat who you're most excited about. I've got to say, I wasn't really thinking about which player I'm most excited to see today, because I thought, you know what, I'm excited just to see United back. However, the interesting thing for me was that now that I've seen the team come out and seen that Mainu's probably playing where Casemiro plays, this to me is a big responsibility for Erik ten Hag to give. And I'm interested to see it. My team in Greece is linked with Phil Jones. He will always play for one of my teams. I'm doomed, says Toll. Has he not retired? And Glazers out, says CY7. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do it. We're very close to 688,000. Don't forget as well. So Rasmus Højlund from Romano. No official bid gone in yet as United focus on something as well. Hold on 1 minute. Sorry, multitasking. Phil Jones, I don't care about Phil Jones. He's history. Talking Kit says, I'm watching for some Ahmad ball. Look, the fact that we don't have a striker in the midfield is quite weak is interesting, but we don't know how good Leeds are going to be. Really interested to see how Mainu does this pre-season. If he can make a step up, that helps us massively with Casemiro cover, says MVP. And I think Villa or others can catch us. Good transfer, says HH Gaming. Look, I'm going to say something now that's going to upset people. In relation to Kobe Mainu, if anybody out there is saying, let's hope he can step up and be the backup to Casemiro, you deserve the Glazers. I'm sorry. That's just ridiculous. Garnacho last season, was he the backup for Marcus Rashford? No. He was a young player in his developmental year. Kobe Mainu cannot be Casemiro's backup. If you are praying that Casemiro is going to be... So if you are praying that Kobe Mainu is Casemiro's backup, then we may as well keep the Glazers, because that's exactly what they would love to see happen. And that's exactly what they want to hear from you. We're Manchester United. We should not be having Kobe Mainu as my backup for Casemiro. No matter how good he is, we should have an experienced player in that position as well. So, look, I'm a big advocate of United's youth system and not over putting too much pressure on them, because I'm old enough to have seen that Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, David Beckham didn't just appear in the mid-90s and win a title. They'd been making team performances in the Champions League, in the League Cup, for 2 or 3 years before the season they won the league. You know, when Alan Hansen says you can't win it with kids, we didn't just throw kids into the team and say go and win the league. They'd been making their debuts and playing the odd game here and then for 2 or 3 years. So it doesn't happen like that. You don't just get a youth player in pre-season and go, you're straight in the team as Casemiro's backup. I believe in Eric playing Mainu as CDM, Van Gaal moved Schweinsteiger to CDM when he was at Bayern. Schweinsteiger made a career as a CDM. This is Sim. And feels like the international break only finished yesterday. Could too much football mean performances lack quality? At certain times of the season, are players mentally and physically exhausted, says Dan. They do seem to get off less and less time. Good to see you again, Mark, says Kieran, and you. And any background info on this Forsen guy, which we should be signing Højlund and getting Felix on loan as well. Nice to see Ahmad, Mount, Hannibal and Mainu, says Mario Franco. I don't know anything about this Forsen guy. No. Did you see Ten Hag saying he always hopes for players before pre-season? Slight dig at the board. Love you, Mark. Working hard. Appreciate it, says Kez. I don't think it's a slight dig at the board by Erik Ten Hag. I think it's a big dig at the board by Erik Ten Hag. I think he expected to have new players coming into the club and ready to play. And that's not happened. And, you know, you can't improve on last season when you can't improve on last season. And what I mean by that, the point is that, you know, who has he got new apart from Mason Mount? And I don't care what anybody says. Mason Mount's not going to take us to the next level on his own. I lost my father last month and it's been very difficult for me. You in this community have really helped me through the difficult time, says Shake. Great stuff, mate. Hope you're doing well. And, you know, sorry to hear about your dad, but we do have a great community and I hope you're doing well. Really appreciate your chat there. Hannibal's an interesting one, yeah. Hannibal is an interesting one. I'm not going to lie. I think with regards to Hannibal, I don't really think he's got a future at Manchester United, but you never know. You know, he's got an opportunity to start today, and that's how it is. I keep going on Leeds Twitter. It's got 1 million followers, and I can't see any tweets. But Twitter's not down for me. I cannot give you the Leeds team news. Maybe Twitter's down, somebody just said. Yeah, it might be down. The last tweet I've got on my timeline is about 8 minutes ago. Oh no, I'm getting a few more now. No, I'm not. I think it's up and down. Which is interesting. Oh, and now, oh no, my live chat's working now. Mainu's going to be our Casido, says Joshua. Competing for Pratt of the chat, aren't you? Kickoff is in 10 minutes yet. Thank you. So yeah, I spoke about Højlund. There was a bit of a story about João Felix potentially looking for a loan to the Premier League again. I don't think there's any of us that wouldn't like to see that be the case with João Felix coming in on loan. I'd love it. I'd love it. But whether we have the money to do that or not, I don't know. I really don't know. And a loan deal doesn't solve any massive problems for Manchester United, does it? It's not building for the future by getting a loan deal in. You need to be getting better players than that in, I think. But look, I definitely would take João Felix. I think João Felix with a Højlund wouldn't be too bad. But you need to be looking a bit better than that, don't you? I think that, look, we've got a nice afternoon to watch a bit of football, and it's going to kick off in 9 minutes, and we should focus on that positivity. But you know what? There is a bigger picture here. A bigger picture is that in a month's time we're playing Wolves, and the bigger picture is that we don't have a striker, and the bigger picture is that we've focused on a goalkeeper and an upgrade on Christian Eriksen ahead of a striker. And I don't think that's anything to do with Erik ten Hag. You know, if Erik ten Hag's saying, you know, I'd like to have my players in before pre-season, I don't think ten Hag said, yeah, don't bother getting me a striker for pre-season. I think he. The problem is, and let's be really blunt with this, the problem is that United cannot do more than one deal at a time. And when you can't do one deal at a time, you lose time. So Mason Mount could have been done 3 weeks ago. We only got it done middle of last week. Onana could have been done last week. We still haven't done it this week. And time moves on. So we could have had Mount and Onana done last week. And we could be working on Højlund now. But everything takes United so long, and they can only do it one at a time. So it gets backed up. So when, you know, Højlund being on the plane to America is looking very unlikely now, isn't it? Because it's only a week. It's only a week until we get on the plane. We're playing in Scotland next Wednesday afternoon, then getting on the plane from Edinburgh to New York. So it's looking very unlikely that we take the lad on tour. And that's disgusting. I don't care whether Ten Hag wants to defend them or say nothing about it. That is disgusting that if the majority of our pre-season we don't have the striker. It's disgusting. How can you prepare for a new season without your bloody striker? And don't say Martial's injured. So we're just going to prepare for a new season with Marcus Rashford as the striker. I love and respect Man United, and your ownership really is similar to what we had at Hull, but remember, ours tried to change us to Hull Tigers, says Offcore. Great to finally have football back. The effect the prolonged sale of the club is having on my mental health is draining. It's a nice change of pace, says Harry. Welcome to Members Club, Miguel. Thanks for your support. Hi, Mark. Is Rasmus Højlund going to be our main striker, or are we going to sign a world-class striker this summer, says Only Pokemon. Do you follow the news? Where are we getting the money for this? Oil me up, hopefully, said somebody in the chat there. It absolutely whizzed by. Sorry about that. Is Hannibal playing at CDM? Could be. Could be. Hopefully we're closer to a Qatar sale, says Dan. Look, Kobe Mainoo might not be playing as the holding midfielder, is the honest answer. We're all assuming that he is, but he might not. So don't be surprised if he is or he isn't. What's that? That's completely wrong. Don't want that. Where's the... Oh, I'm getting really annoyed. You know what? Give me 8 o'clock shows talking about... There we go. That's what I want. I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want. So tell me what you want. What you really, really want. I wanna. That's not what I wanted to do. Why have I got all these Leeds things? Get rid of fucking Leeds. Oh, that'll have to do. It's not really what I would like, but it will do. Timer. Well, that's not going to work, is it? No, that'll do. There we go. Man United against Leeds. There we go. Leeds can't afford Twitter. Yeah, I don't know what the Leeds team news is. Doesn't really matter. I'm struggling to get used to being sandwiched between these things. Don't forget, we're sponsored by OneFootball. Links in the chat. Give it a download. Fantastic little app. Get all your latest breaking football news. You can get the Leeds team news on there and tell me what it is if you want. but we're about 4 minutes away from the start of this game. What are we looking for in this game? I'm looking for intelligence. I'm looking for confidence on the ball. I'm looking for energy. I'm looking for the press. I'm looking at these young players and whether they can mix it with the likes of Martinez, Mount, Varane and the senior pros. Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to the youth. Alvaro Fernandez. Look, I said that this morning. You can jump on that bandwagon if you want, but he doesn't get spoken about enough. I actually think Fernandez at left back, seriously, look, maybe people don't want a left back to be the breakthrough player, but he could be. Mainu as well, says Mark. Gore, Ahmed, Palestri. Let's see what the next 7 does. Let's try to be positive, says Mark. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the super chats as well. Graham says, I would have thought John Murta and co would want to get transfers done quickly to make it look like they're doing their jobs properly for the new owners. You can't polish a turd though, mate. Hi Mark, been supporting for a while, but the Leeds team is on the Man United app. Also keep up the good work from New York, says Taco. Looking forward to the youth, says Mark. Thank you very much. And Miguel, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks everyone who's watching. Make sure you subscribe. We're really close to 688,000. We're probably only about 10 away. Bottom right hand corner to do that. Appreciate your support as ever. United will be starting soon here. I presume this is a sellout as well in Oslo. A lot of Leeds fans there, to be fair. So Leeds lineup. I've just gone on the One Football app. Clayson in goal. Giabi, Pavido, Rutter, Cooper, Drama, Sinistera, Hield, Shackleton, Greenwood, Mullen. They've got a lot more senior pros on their bench. Galdart, Ayling, Bamford, Dan James, Firpo, Gray, Moore. Yeah, they've got a much more senior squad than ours. They'll probably win, actually. I think Leeds will probably win because they've got a much better senior squad than we've got, because obviously they're probably back in training sooner because the championship starts a week sooner, and they'll have less internationals. So yeah, the Leeds side is stronger. First half, I think we'll give them a game. Second half, the youth might struggle. Having said that, last year this happened as well. The youth ended up playing second half against, was it Palace or something, and they did quite well. So look, it's pre-season. I'm not saying they're going to beat us 4 or 5-0, but you know, ultimately people are just trying to get a run out, aren't they? So let's see how it goes. Sancho and Mount stood together there. But as I say, Leeds have got quite an experienced bench. Not that it matters, it's just pre-season, isn't it? Kick-off, it all goes, starts again, doesn't it? We're ready to go. Oh, what the fuck? I need to get... I tell you what, it's like pre-season for me. It's second nature doing watch-alongs normally. But you have a bit of, you know, you take the summer off. We don't take the summer off, but you don't do them over the summer. And you completely forget all the stuff you need to do. Thanks for your patience, everybody. Little bit tame photo there for the players. Tour 23, here we go. Score prediction. I'll give you a score prediction just because people keep asking for it. I'm going to go with... I'll go... You know what? I'm going to go 2-2. 2-2. Get a few goals. Get a few games. Big shout out Robert McCormack. Thanks for sending that image. West Ham are becoming increasingly frustrated about the delay with the Declan Rice to Arsenal deal. Interesting. And there we go. Please subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 688. Mason Mount in the number 7 shirt. What are your thoughts on that, Mark? Thanks for the comments. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, it's interesting. I'm not a fan. I don't agree with it. So nice seeing a world-class centre-back as captain, says Adrian Bernard. Yeah, I think Varane is the captain, isn't he? Will you be doing the 3 a.m. watch-alongs? Of course I will, Charles. I can't not do the 3 a.m. pre-season watch-alongs when you lot are getting up all around the world to watch United normally. I've got to put my stint in. But yeah, I think that lovely to see Varane wearing McQueen on his shirt as well. Tribute to him is fantastic there. And but yeah, the number 7 shirt. I like Mason Mount. I liked Mason Mount when he was at Chelsea. I didn't like him when he first came on the scene. I thought he was a bit overrated, and then I saw what it was all about. So I always quite liked Mason Mount at Chelsea. He had a bad season last year. Ten Hag's absolutely obsessed with him, and he's got a big shirt to fill. I wouldn't have given him the number 7 shirt, but you can't really say that Garnacho was a standout contender for it after, a breakout season. So, look, it's a big opportunity. A lot of people saying about McQueen. Gordon McQueen was a Leeds and Manchester United player. He died quite recently, which is why Varane has got the McQueen on his back. And very nice tribute going on in Oslo. Obviously, both clubs impacted by the passing of Gordon McQueen, and nice for both clubs to pay tribute to him as well. And that's why Varane has McQueen on the back of his shirt. But yeah, look, to me, the number 7 shirt is not just a number. Some people say, well, it's just a number, it doesn't matter. And, but to me, it does. So Mason Mount's got a big shirt to fill there, but we've given it to some right shit in the past. So, look, it's a statement of what Mason Mount is to Erik ten Hag. And look, Darren Fletcher was saying it this morning to Beth and Ryan on the flight over. He's made it very, very clear that he's absolutely in love with Mason Mount. And not in that way, but like he's obsessed with Mason Mount. You live and die by that, don't you? You fall on your sword. I remember saying this about it's very different coach, very different player. But I remember saying this about, we're just about to kick off here. I remember saying this about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Harry Maguire. Ole was going to fall on that sword. £80 million centre-back, his captain. Not a lot of people agreed with it in the end, but Solskjaer stuck with it. I'm going to die on that hill. I'm going to fall on my sword, and it's either going to work or it's not. And I think that with Eric, Mason Mount, he's put a lot of focus on him. Right, we're up and running there. Time is on the screen. You would never say number 10 is just a number for Barca, says Mario Franco. Is Ollie in attendance for this game? And also when the going gets tough, Ollie gets rough, says Navin. Thank you very much. Classic. Miguel, welcome to Members Club. Appreciate that. Harry saying it's great to have football back. Well, 22,000 of you watching. It's great to have you back as well. Mandy says, I think Mason Mount could be Eric's De Jong. They're very different players. Early opportunity here for United and a free kick. Mason Mount's on it. He may as well have a hit. May as well shoot. I know it's only pre-season, but these things can resonate in the memory. He may as well have a shot here. But no, I don't think Mason Mount and Frenkie de Jong are similar types of players. But it's you know what? I don't sympathise with anybody on this. I just acknowledge it's a weird thing seeing a Mason Mount in a Chelsea shirt. Whips a cross in, headed away. But I even said Chelsea. It's weird seeing Mason Mount in a Manchester United shirt. And that will take a bit of getting used to. But I remember when Van Persie came to Man United, it was a bit weird for a little bit. But I do associate Mason Mount with Chelsea. And it's going to be very, very difficult to, sort of get used to that, I suppose. But nice little layoff by Ahmad there. Mainu looks like he is playing the deepest of the three, number 37. Keep an eye on him. The central attacker seems to be Jadon Sancho. Forsen off the left, Ahmad off the right. He's done quite well there, Forsen. Lays it back off. Tell you what. It's not great bloody quality, this. 720p. Rubbish. Michael Owen was the worst number 7, says Martin. Good play by Ahmad there. Just plays it off. No, United having a good period of possession here. Wan-Bissaka, of course. Many people thought he might not be at the club, but fantastic since Christmas. Ahmad on the right-hand side. Might be his best chance of staying. Ahmad as an alternative to Anthony. If you think about it, you can start... The mind starts twisting and doesn't it, a little bit? But you said Sancho couldn't play as a 9, says Arvid. God. Can somebody sit Arvid down? Because sometimes it's just a waste of my oxygen. So Arvid thinks that Jadon Sancho can play as a number 9 based on 2 minutes and 45 seconds against Leeds in a pre-season game. Yeah, I'm sure if we play Jadon Sancho as a false 9 against Man City and everybody else next season, we'll win the league. Jadon Sancho is playing the most central at the moment. Corner to United. But no, look, if you think about it, if Rashford's going to go up front, you'd have Sancho and Garnacho as the left side options, Anthony and Ahmad as the right side options, and maybe Højlund and Rashford as the strikers. Mount with the cross, headed away. A few people said, where's Pellistri? Pellistri is, I believe, was on international duty, so he'll still be training. Good play by Sancho. Hannibal, worth a shot. Definitely worth a shot. Good block. Glad that football is back, even if it's only a friendly. Excited to see Mount places going. Good start by United. Tom Heaton, the sweeper keeper. He thinks he's bloody CDM. Nearly in the Leeds half there. Martinez makes his way back. I think he had a bit of a collision. Here's Hannibal. How did Hannibal do at Birmingham? I know a few Blues fans. They appreciated him. He didn't set the world on fire. He did okay. I mean, he nowhere near did what Ahmad did at Sunderland. But here is Ahmad, and he's looking to express himself there. Confident play. I know we've only been playing 4 minutes, but Ahmad already looking really confident. Oh, here we go. Goldbridge is back typing whilst doing watch-alongs. Can't take caps lock off. Yeah, look, we've only had a few minutes, but plenty of ball for Ahmad. Looks confident. Heavy touch by Mount, but does well. Plays a 1-2, gets it back. Low, unlucky, trying to get Ahmad in there. Good pace to Manchester United there. Good tempo. I don't know, how have I got... How's my phone got commentary? That's weird. I've got it on my TV. Mainly was impressive and very technical, says Jagar. Yeah, look at Sancho here dictating the press. Really energetic. Oh, it's so effective. Loses a 50-50. Oh, God, what a number 9 he's going to be this season. I can't believe it. Cancel the Højlund transfer. We've got Sancho as the number 9, you know, winning 50-50s and energetically closing down. Some people in the chat actually think I'm being serious there. Hi, Mark. Ahmad's name is pronounced Ahmad or Ahmad. Thanks, AMK. If I wanted your advice, I'd ask for it. Sancho is still playing all right, says Kian. Sancho's better, mate. For me, he's a better number 9 than Haaland and Kane. He's just already in 7 minutes. I just think he's the answer. Sorry, Mark, if I missed your Ahmad take, but would you keep Ahmad as a utility sub, multiple positions? Says Ahmad. Mate, I mean, look, for all the banter that we're all having with each other, we're 5 minutes into the first game of pre-season. I don't care if Ahmad scores a hat-trick or Sancho scores a hat-trick. It's a pre-season game, and only idiots start making predictions about next season. I remember last season when we were in Asia and Australia, and we were having 70% possession. The front three of Martial and Rashford and Sancho looked really exciting. Everyone was going, oh, we're going to win the league. Well, not everyone. Prats were. And then we lost the first 2 games of the season. It's a reality bite. You know, it's about fitness, this first few games of the season. That's what it's all about. And it's about, really, it's about how the senior pros build their fitness and form for the start of the season. And it's about the younger players showing what they're all about to the manager. Nice ball to Ahmad. He's offside. I tell you what, I'm enjoying the first 9 minutes though. Pre-season Pirlo was a thing for a reason. Yes, the Inquisition. You've just sold. I could have saved some oxygen there. Anybody who bigs up pre-season, 3 words: pre-season Pirlo. Like, yeah, it's true. There is absolutely no joke or smile on my face. Jadon Sancho as the false 9 is now officially the best striker in the world. Lewandowski is gone for a run. You know, he could only stomach 6 minutes of it. He's gone for a run. He knows that there's competition out there. Erling Haaland is contemplating retirement. Yeah. And Marcus Rashford's off to play golf. This 7-minute cameo from Jadon Sancho as a false 9 has been something else. Good win in the midfield there. Here's a lovely ball into Ahmad on that right-hand side. He's got a bit of time. Oh, good touch. Lays it off. Got to be a... Wow, what a save. What a save. Still comes back. Oh, he shoots wide. That was exciting. Hannibal so close to scoring. Ahmad on the right-hand side. He's cooking, says Pranshu. Absolutely. I think it's Mason Mount who gets the ball out wide. I think it's Mount. It's got to be Mount. It's a lovely ball. Ahmad cuts inside on the left, lays it off. Hannibal should score. That's delightful play by Ahmad. He does end up with a shot himself and goes wide, but Ahmad. It's the Ahmad show at the moment. He's absolutely tearing it up. Fire. Da 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 da. It was a pass by Mount. And here is Mount. Oh, he's lobbed it from far out. He's getting involved. He's got his tongue out. Does the United Stand studio need aircon? Says Kenneth. I don't know. What are you talking about? I don't know. Why, are you going to give us some free? Mason Mount, that's how you press. Mason Mount pressing the centre-back. 30 yards out. Went for a dink over the keeper. Hit it over the bar. Marcus says, sell Maguire, McFred, Sancho, Martial, get them out of the club. Glazers out, says Marcus. Thank you very much. Welcome to the members club, Dara. Sorry, Mark, if I missed your Ahmad take. That was from Omar. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the memberships. You're very welcome. Thanks for supporting the channel. If you want to do that, you can do that through the live chat. Please do subscribe, by the way. I'll check if we've hit 8,000. Get involved with the United Stand. Live every morning at 10 o'clock. Live for all the watch-alongs. Live for all the games. Pre-season. Transfer news. Breaking news. Get yourself involved in this community. It was a really good press, says Ulk from Mount. Yes, it was impressive. Here is Mainu. Lovely play there in the holding midfield position. People are going to clip that. Sent 2 Leeds players back to Yorkshire. And then another ball into Hannibal, who just looks a little bit off the pace, Hannibal. Bruno to 8 and Mount to 10. Love from USA, says James. You're not the manager, James. Hannibal should have scored. It wasn't a very good finish. Looking at it there. Where's his shot going? Did it deflect a little bit, maybe? I forgot Show Retire was still at the club. Hi, Mark. I really hope Sancho has a good season. We need the depth. And is there any news on Vlahovic and a centre-back, says Mohammed. Well, there's no news on Vlahovic to United. I mean, he is apparently going to leave Juventus, but there's no news on that. Good play by Martinez. Defence has had it quite comfortable so far. Mason Mount dropping deep into Varane. Nice ball out wide to Wan-Bissaka. He's going to play it inside, surely. No, he's left the ball behind. Mainu does well. Here's Ahmad. Jadon Sancho, offside. Lima says, good to have you back, lad. I've not been anywhere. Does some of you just not watch the show when it's off season? We still do stuff. Yeah, Sancho's miles offside there. I blame the centre back. Mount's playing like Bruno. But if you watch it, it's interesting because it's like what somebody said this morning. We're sort of playing with a 6 and 2 8s. And Hannibal is actually playing a little bit more advanced than Hannibal is playing the Bruno role, really. Here's Ahmad again. Lovely little 1-2. Couldn't keep it, though. Hannibal's actually playing more advanced. Mason Mount's playing the Eriksen role. He's playing to the left of the midfield 3. More in between Mainu and Hannibal at the moment. And Hannibal. Who remembers Hannibal? Hannibal! Drummer from the Muppets. Hannibal's playing more advanced than Mount. You can see it in the 3. Hoyland watching Sancho as a false 9's like Simone. Nice ball here. This should be a goal. Missed it. Offside anyway. Mason Mount. He's had a couple of chances, Mason. Jim says Mount is not the answer. Bench him. Mark, you're going to be streaming the 3 AM games, says Charlie. Yes, I'm looking forward to them. Can you call Willa Pratt, says Daniel. Thank you very much, mate. We definitely look sharper than Leeds. I don't know what their training regime is in pre-season, but it's interesting because obviously Leeds got relegated from the Premier League last season, and they will therefore be starting their season a week earlier than us in the Championship. But United look a lot sharper. Is that down to Ten Hag's intense reputation in pre-season? He gets them going very early. We saw this in pre-season last year. But it's not about that, is it? It's about where you are on the opening game. If I'm Anthony, I would be worried with Ahmad, says Mario. Mate, nothing would make me happier. Nothing would make me happier than Ahmad, than Anthony saying, than Ten Hag saying, I'm keeping Ahmad as my option because he will keep Anthony on his toes. Mount is baffling. I'm going to mount a giraffe in his honour. No, he's balling, says Connor C. There we go. Hated when Man United MUTV keep speak out about Maguire. Why? Love Mike from Malaysia. I don't know what they've said about Maguire because I ain't listening, Sir John. Here's Mount. Dropping a little bit deeper. Nice ball in again. Slipped pass. Good defending by Leeds. Sancho's never going to have the pace for that. Haaland is still the better striker, says Cameron. NGD says, are we excited to be back? D3 says this is Leeds B team. It looks like Leeds have got their A team coming on in the second half, doesn't it? Whereas we've got our youth coming on in the second half. So it's going to be a game of 2 halves. It's going to be a game of 2 halves. Just joined. What's the team, please? Says Nick. It's probably easier for me to just do this for you so you can see it yourself at your own pace. But that's the United lineup. Heaton in goal. Wan-Bissaka at right back. Varane and Martinez. Fernandez left back. Mainu's holding the midfield. Mount's in the Eriksen role. Hannibal is in the Bruno role. A little bit more advanced. Ahmad is off the right. Sancho is the false 9. And Forson is playing off the left. we've not really seen a massive amount of him yet. Sorry, that's overlaid badly there for you, but you can have a good look at it. I tell you what, I should have just read it out. That didn't go the way I wanted it to go. I'm disappointed in myself. I feel I should stop the stream. Varane knocks it into Martinez. Lots of runs being made as soon as we pick it up in the midfield, in behind. Mainu's gone for it there. It's a decent-ish ball, and it will run for a corner. Played the game, says Eco. I've not said that as much as I used to. Mark, we need Ollie's karaoke impressions, says Amy. Cross comes in. No one's anywhere near that. That's something we need to work on this season. Kobe Mainu with a heavy touch. And, yeah, he's out of the game. It's a lovely ball, but it's a foot race between Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka has to hold off. Leeds. Good defending by Hannibal, and it goes for a corner. He's done well to get back there. Well done, Hannibal. Since when was Dan James at Leeds? I thought he was at Fulham, or have I missed something, says Sam. Yeah, Sam, you've just made a great point. Why is Dan James on the bench for Leeds? I thought Fulham signed him as well. Was it a loan deal? I don't know. Good break by Leeds here, and Hannibal did well. Hannibal with the tackle. Got his body in where? Corner comes in for Leeds on the back post. Back into the box. Still there. Now United with Ahmad. Have a look. No, not a good pass. Forson's been quite quiet. We've not really got the ball out to him. Ahmad's had a lot of the ball, but Forson's not really seen any of it. Maybe that's because it's the more inexperienced side. Fernandez. Here's Sancho. Nice ball into Hannibal, and he's offside. Fulham loaned Dan James, says Daniel Smith. Thank you very much. It's not 1-0. No, it's not 1-0. There's no stream delay. There's no I live in India or America and the game's not on in the UK. We're second for second here. It's not 1-0. Good evening, Mark in the chat, says Nat. Good evening, pal. Hope you're doing well. The ball's not even been in the net for it to be offside. Yeah, Dan James will be coming on in the second half for Leeds. But it's been interesting this first 20 minutes. For me, for all we know, Eric Ten Hag might actually be experimenting using Sancho as a centre-forward this pre-season. Then again, I might just be a prat, says Navin. You're not a prat, Navin, because there will be people who actually believe that's going to happen. Here's Hannibal. He probably deserves a goal. Oh, Sancho gets stuck under his feet. And Forson's shot is blocked. We conspired to not score when it was easier to score there. Good press by Hannibal. Crap pass by their keeper. Sancho should score there. Oh, he's got stuck under his feet. Sancho just needs to hit this first time. Yeah. Somebody said, do you think Sancho looks bulkier? Is that somebody saying he's fat? I think he's... hopefully he's bulked up muscly, but I don't think he needs to bulk up muscly. he's not super fast anyway. I don't want Jadon Sancho to lose any more pace. He's never going to be physical. He's never going to be winning 50-50s. We need Sancho balling. That's what we need. Ahmad's not bulky, is he? I don't want him to be. I want Ahmad to get the ball and run at people. I want Sancho to do the same. Standout players. Who do you think's doing well at the moment? Look, I think Heaton's had nothing to do. Wan-Bissaka's got forward well. Fernandes has got forward well. Varane and Martinez have got cigars on. Mainoo's doing good. Hannibal's doing good. Mount's been impressive. Ahmad's been impressive. We've not really seen enough of Forson. I mean, Sancho's out of position. He's doing okay, but Mount's everywhere, says Peter. Thanks for your input. Fun, thank you very much for joining the members club. Hated when MUTV keeps speaking about Maguire, says Sir John. I think we read that one already, haven't we? Thanks for that. Nice ball. Here we go. Here's Sancho. That's a decent ball into Hannibal. The cut back is decent and Ahmad gets tackled. That was a good pass by Sancho. We picked it up again. He loses it, but we win it back. And then Leeds win it back. There's a switch on here for Leeds. He hasn't seen it. But then the power forward. That's a good ball. Leeds breaking here. They've got some options. The cross is good. And Martinez does well. And it ends up with Heaton. Good play. Young says, Hannibal has surprised me. Oxel says, Sancho's class. What you on about? When have I've not said one word bad about Jadon Sancho. Shut up. What do I think about Hannibal? I mean, he's done all right, but I'll tell you now, he won't be at United next season, one way or another. Nice ball into Mount, another corner for United. Deasy says that Maino's balls are insane. That does sound very wrong. Very wrong. What do I think of Mount so far? Yeah, good. I mean, look, it's pre-season, but it's interesting that he's over to take the set pieces. This is something that Eriksen would normally do. It's something that we've not particularly been great at. It's not a bad cross, that. And Fernandes, the young left-back, gets his head to it, heads it just wide. We're back in action. Martial got his injury press release out early. He thought this was the first game of the season. He ruined the surprise, says Michael. Cheb says, is Mount not Eriksen but better? Well, I think that's a bit disrespectful to say that Mount's better than Eriksen. I think he offers things that Eriksen doesn't have. He's a little bit more physical, and he's certainly got more speed to his game, which I think you have to have in a modern game. What gives you anxiety and how do you deal with it, says Tamer. I don't know. Ooh. I don't. What do you want a serious answer? How do I deal with anxiety? Well, I mean, I don't really know what gives me anxiety, but I think we all get anxious at times. I think if you want a really quick, serious answer, I think that if you can learn to live your life in the sense that you can only control what you can control, and if you get stressed and anxious about things that are out of your control, you're sort of wasting your life, really, aren't you? You know, things will happen that are good and bad that are out of your control. There's no point worrying about it. Good ball out here. Now, Forson with a bit of time and space. He's not had a lot of the ball in the first half an hour. That's why. That was a terrible pass. He's probably the one player on the pitch at the moment, Forson, who looks a little bit out of his depth. I mean, hopefully we can get more of the ball to him. He's not had a lot of it. Who's your pre-season Pirlo so far? Says Nick. Definitely Hannibal. You don't want to be pre-season Pirlo, Hannibal. But if I had to... So pre-season Pirlo is a player that does really well in pre-season. Everyone hypes, and then they're nowhere when the season starts. So it's hard to give it out after 27 minutes, but I would say pre-season Pirlo at the moment is Hannibal, because he is doing well, but there's absolutely no way he's going to be any part of Ten Hag's plans next year. Mark, who's your pre-season? So I've done that one from Nick P. Now, here we go. Forcing again. Take your time, lad. That's better. Nice ball into Mount. Gets it back. Oh, good ball back to Mount. That's better. Bit of confidence. He's going to struggle if he's not getting a lot of the ball. Now it's back on the other side. Here's Ahmad. Nice ball into Wan-Bissaka. Snooze, you lose, Aaron. Took too long on that pass. Now it's back with Ahmad again. Lays it off to Forsen. Lays it off to Mount. That goes for 6. Who's on 350k? You know what? Is that not just a myth that Jadon Sancho's on 300 grand a week, or is it a well-kept secret? Lim's very happy with Ahmad so far. Noel says put Ahmad and Mainu in the first team. Yeah, let's put Sancho up front as well. Hannibal's done all right, yeah, he has. Do you think he'll keep any of these players on in the second half? No. I think we know. I think we know with Ten Hag, he's one of those managers that a lot of managers do it now, but he is a bit of a laptop manager in the sense of fitness. We saw him do it last season with the first team. He'll take a player off on 60 minutes because the laptop says to do it, whether they're playing well or not. So he'll definitely change the team at half time. But there's some good players to look at in the second half. I'm looking forward to seeing Daniel Gore, Aronson as well. Hopefully Collier gets a bit of game time. That's a lovely ball in behind Varane. Leeds are in. And Martinez covers very, very well. But they're back in again, Leeds here. Good cross shot. Tom Heaton dived for a shot that never came in because it was a dangerous cross. Have United been playing good, says Yo-Yo K. It's a pre-season game. Like, it's the first pre-season game of the season. And we've done okay. Best chance of the game, Hannibal. Yeah? Ahmad squared it to him first few minutes. Should have scored. Leeds have had a couple of half chances, but best chance of the game, Hannibal. It's not been a game full of chances. I think it's been a game of, possession. But, yeah, there's not been a lot of chances floating around. Why are people judging in a pre-season game? It's just the way people are. That's why people that's why these fake in the nose on Twitter prosper. There's always idiots out there who will believe it. Hi Mark, just joining. Any youngsters stood out, says Ollie? I don't really like answering that sort of a question. You could rephrase it. Have any of the United youth players performed well? What's your advice to be as handsome as you are, says Nicholas? I'm not vain. I don't like blowing my own trumpet. rather get someone to do it for me. For me, Hannibal's done well, Mainoo's done well, Ahmad's done well from the youth. The left-hand side of Fernandez and Forson we've not really used enough. Senior players, Mason Mounts look very lively. Varane and Martinez have been quite comfortable, as is Wan-Bissaka. We probably haven't got the ball into Sancho as much as I would like. I don't think he's a very intelligent presser of the ball, Mason Mount. He's a bit like Rashford. He runs man to man, and that can be very I'm going to go a bit deep tactics here. I remember talking about this with Jack a few weeks ago. Marcus Rashford's pressing is energetic but not intelligent, in the sense that not that he's thick as a person, he just runs player to player and leaves passing lanes. Intelligent pressers will press spaces to make it difficult for the defender to pass. Sancho's been doing a little bit of that, which you'd expect because he's not used to it. Hannibal with the layoff there. But I've enjoyed it. It's nice to, for me, I don't know how everybody else feels, but for me, it's a genuine treat to be watching football. I haven't watched a game since the FA Cup final, and you get so lost in all the transfer stuff. I'm looking forward to the next few weeks where we can talk about the transfer stuff, but no, there's a game on the horizon. I like watching football, and I think from a team point of view, you can see that the shape is very similar to last season. Kobe Mainoo is just dropping like Casemiro. He's got a look of Pogba about him in the way that he, is very casual on the ball. Mainoo, I get what people are saying now. I've always seen Mainoo as more of an offensive player, but playing deeper, he's a little bit slower. And when he's slower, I can see the Pogba, but he moves a lot quicker than Pogba. His agility is a lot quicker, but he's got that way on the ball that Pogba has as well. But yeah, essentially as a formation, there's no difference to last season. There's no progression from last season. So Ten Hag's clearly not looking to do that. We're not high line, 70% possession. It's still very a lot of possession around the midfield and the back four, and then a quick look for a ball over the top. We're not like a City or a Liverpool 2 years ago. We're not, in the final third, they're camped in their own box, patient build up. So yeah, tactically it's very similar to last season, which I suppose you'd probably expect, because he's not going to reinvent the wheel with players that won't be there to reinvent the wheel. Oh, Forson nearly in there. How resistant do you think Mount is against teams that press high up the pitch? So Stephen Ross. Well, I will have to. I haven't seen enough of Mason Mount to know that, because it's not necessarily something that I look at when I'm watching the opposition. Like Chelsea, I tend to watch the opposition and just try and watch the game. I don't tactically analyse oppositions that much if I'm having, if I'm being honest. But we faded a little bit in the last 10 minutes. There's no doubt about that. You'd expect that. This is why they'll only play 45. I think, it's probably hitting them a little bit now. First 20 minutes was a lot of energy, a lot of adrenaline, and I think the last 10 it's faded a little bit. I forgot Daniel Farke was their manager. Super chat coming in here. James says, talking about intelligent pressing, that's why we play better with Martial. We need a proper number 9, says James. Yeah, well, here we go. Here's Jadon Sancho. Receives it on the turn. Where's he going to go? Out to Ahmad. Into Sancho. Lays it back to Ahmad. That's really good play. Oh, no. Oh, no. Get up, mate. Don't be injured. No, he's fine. I thought he'd gone down. Well, he did go down there, Ahmad, and I thought he'd gone down from a twisted ankle. I've been watching United Stand since Van Gaal days, since seeing you grow this channel from 15k. God bless you and everyone, says Summerjit. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate your super channel. You should be a Man United scout. 3 or 4 years ago, we was talking about Casido and Badashiel coming to United, says Hamad. Mate, it's not me. It's you as well. You're absolutely correct. We've been doing this channel for a long time. And look, the great thing about time is it gives you an evidence log. And it's scary, some of the players that we've spoken about on this channel over the years. I mean, I remember Fabinho at Monaco. He was playing right back, and we were saying he'd be brilliant, and I reckon he could be a CDM. Casido, Badashiel, we were talking about those two. Yeah, there's loads, but that's not scouting. I mean, the modern fan, and you're the same. You watch so much football, you hear about players. Everybody does it these days. It's recruitment that's the problem. I'm pretty sure that United scouting department knew about Badashiel a few years ago, and they'll know about these players. It's just the ability to go and get them. Talking about intelligent pressing, that's why Martial, thank you for that. I have to disagree. Putting pressure on the player works better than cutting out the passing lane. If our players could combine the two, I think we would see better results pushing high up the pitch, says Inbred. Mate, I used to play centre-back. I don't give a shit if a striker sprints as fast as they can to me. It just makes me play the pass quicker. But if they haven't closed the passing lane, it's still the same pass. I just have to play it a bit quicker. Pressing is about closing the passing lanes. At the end of the day, pressing in a non-football way is like catching a chicken. If you run straight at the chicken, it will get scared and it will run into space. And then you run after it and it will run into space. If you slowly move the chicken into the corner, it can't escape. That's the difference between good and bad pressing. People think pressing is just running quickly at a defender, but if there's an escape route, it's irrelevant. You don't have to press well. You don't have to sprint. It's about manoeuvring them into a position where they either have to boot the ball long and lose it, or they panic and give up possession. People confuse pressing with, oh, look at him sprinting there and there and there. That's not good pressing. Hi, Mark. I'm your member now. You should become a manager yourself. Your knowledge of football is amazing. It seems you understand all the intricacies. Bobby, stop taking the piss. There's many people in the chat who know a lot more than me about tactics. What wages do you think Rashford should get in his new contract, says Pedro? I think he'll get 350, if not more. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. I'm just trying to catch up on them. Yeah, I've done that. I think we've caught up. OTS says the chicken analogy is fantastic. Well, I do like a good analogy, but it does frustrate me that people don't understand what pressing is. And that's why people use the words instigator press. And that's why people say you press as a team. If I know how to press, and it doesn't matter how I close the passing lanes, I can't close 3. I can't close 3 passing lanes. It's impossible. I can close 1, but I need everybody else to do it as well. Here's Ahmad. Lays it off again. Shoots. Ooh, he's just over the bar. I thought he was going to lay it off. He cut inside. Star of the half for me. Long, big standout player. I just tweeted it there. Ahmad stood out for me the biggest. And shout outs for Mainu and Hannibal. I think Mount's done okay. I think Sancho's done okay. But they're senior pros. You've got to judge them in a different way. You want your young players to be competing with your senior players. But on the other hand, you want your senior players to be a little bit above them. How many times have you chased the chicken, Mark? Says it's... Oh, that means something else. That does. Pressing about a team, one player pressing is a waste of energy, says Sky God, yeah. Here we go again. Can we get one before half time? 42 minutes gone. Nice ball out wide to Sancho. Seems to be happier when he drifts to the left. Fernandez cross cleared. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Yazini is a new member of the channel. You're a legend. Thanks for supporting it. Are you going to do career mode again, mate? Well, I will try. Me and Angry Ginge were on about setting up a pro clubs team, actually. I think that'd be good fun. We're only 100 subscribers away from 689,000 now. Thanks everyone who's getting involved. Please do subscribe. We're going to be doing all these watch-alongs on the United Stand. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Next pre-season game is a week today in the afternoon at 2 o'clock. And then we've got the following Saturday, we've got Arsenal, 10 o'clock at night. Then we've got Wrexham, early hours of the morning. The following day, we've got Real Madrid, early hours of the morning. And then we finish off with Dortmund. Ahmad and Sancho off the bench will be troublesome for any defender in the league, says Neil. That's the dream, isn't it? That's the dream. Start with Rashford and Anthony on the wings, and then if they're underperforming or tired, bring on Ahmad and Sancho. I'm going to tell you what, that's... I can't speak. That's the dream. It makes me get emotional. I'm tearing up. That's the dream for me. Ahmad and Sancho as the bench wingers to come on if Anthony and Rashford need a break. It's good to see Martinez back in the team, says Dean. And yeah, thank you very much, Dean. Appreciate that. Mark, you've got to see the under-17 Saudi Arabian player. Plays both CAM and CDM. Was best player in the under-17 Cup and top scorer and assister, says AMK Hamadan, apparently. Andrew Fletcher, you're a legend. He's just gifted 10 memberships. If you don't know what memberships are, by the way, basically we have a members section where we put up some exclusive content. Our Dublin live tour show is on there at the moment. But also you get a badge on your name next to in the chat as well. Support the channel. Really appreciate that. And Andrew Fletcher's just gifted 10 of them. You're a legend, mate. Right, United have got a chance to whip across in here. We've got about a minute to go till half time. Cross comes in from Mount, goes for another corner. What do you think, Mark? We need players like Rodrigo from Madrid, Jeremy Doku from Rennes, Kim from Napoli. I wasn't chuffed about us signing Mason Mount, says It's All Love. Yeah, just a bit of breaking news. Kim doesn't play for Napoli anymore. He plays for Bayern. I think it's going to be an interesting second half because Leeds' team in the second half, it looks a lot more experienced than the first one, whereas our team is obviously more experienced in the first half. Yazini, thank you very much for your super chat. And referee's blown up. That's half time. So he's literally blown up on the 45 minutes. He's not playing anymore. I'm not playing any more of this half. I've had enough. And there it is, half time. Thoughts on half time? Yeah, I think that as I was saying, I think Ahmad has stood out the most. But we'll get into that. Don't forget, we are sponsored by OneFootball. Let's just play the message.
Football fanatics, get ready. The United Stand pre-season tour is here. Powered by OneFootball, the ultimate app for live scores, transfers and match stats. Download now. No one gets you closer.
There we go. We're sponsored by OneFootball. You can scan the QR code on your camera phone or go through the link in the description. Big shout out to OneFootball. Get all the latest breaking news. And thank you very much to them for that. So let's have a chat about that at half time. I think that, you know, it's pre-season. I've seen enough of them. That tends to be how it goes. You're not going to get this free-flowing, exhilarating football for 45 minutes. I think United started off in the first 15 minutes really, really energetic. I think Mason Mount was quite symbolic of United, actually. First 15, 20 minutes, I've seen Beth tweeting about it. You know, oh, he's the best thing ever. And then the last 15, 20 minutes looked bang average because he was tired. So, look, I think that's to be expected. The backdrop of pre-season is always fitness. and you can't criticise players who fall off a little bit because it's all about fitness. Sancho's been pants, says Adam. He's also out of position, if we're being completely honest. Jay asks, welcome to the Members Club. Hi, Mark, I'm from the future. Don't use the loo on December the 11th at 10 o'clock, says Garner. Mainu and Hannibal must start some games next season. Both have played brilliant, says Alec. Okay, we'll just move on for those sort of comments. And Mainu and Hannibal impressed me, says Darren. Yes. Look, the centre-back pairing of Martinez and Varane and Tom Heaton and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, steady. Nothing wrong with it. Senior pros, steady. Fernandez at left-back, never really troubled. Mainu in the holding midfield position, you can definitely see what people say when he's got a look of Pogba about him in the way that he plays the game. He's quite... the way he receives the ball is very similar to Pogba. Quite well poised, well balanced, big, powerful player. Playing in the holding role, which is not something I've really ever accustomed him to. I think he's more of an advanced player in my mind, but interesting that he's played there and done reasonably well. Hannibal has been box to box, playing in the Bruno role, a bit more advanced. Should have scored. He's been, made a good tackle as well. You'd be pleased with your performance if you're Hannibal. Mason Mount looked really good for the first 15-20 minutes. Tired a little bit in the last 15-20. That's going to happen. Forson on the left, not really had enough of the ball. Ahmad, plenty of the ball. Our standout player in the half. And Sancho, in a position he's never going to be successful in, has done reasonably well as well. It's weird seeing Mount in a United shirt, but he looked quite decent, says Peter. But the overarching thing is it's pre-season, and I think that there are no negatives. The positives are the players that stand out. And I think we already know it's very hard to write the stories of pre-season because some of them write themselves. But we already know that if we sign a Nana, that'll be a big thing to watch in pre-season, what it's like having a goalkeeper like that. With Ahmad, we know that he had an electric season in the Championship last year with Sunderland, and the big question is what happens with him this year. There is a queue of clubs in the Championship in the Premier League that want to take him on loan. There's a queue of clubs that would buy him, but we won't sell him. Will he be part of the first team for Manchester United next season, or will he be loaned out again? That's the question for Ahmad, and all he can do is spend this time with Ten Hag so Ten Hag can make a decision. Now, for me, the way I look at it is Anthony starts off the right, Rashford starts off the left, Garnacho is the pressure on the left, and I'd like to see Ahmad as the pressure off the right. Ahmad's got more of a right foot than Anthony, and he's very left-footed himself. So that's... If Ahmad's got a journey until August the 6th to impress Erik Ten Hag, if that's his first game, because he probably won't play in the second half, tick in the box. You'd be looking to the next game and going, I need to do better, but that's not a bad start. Hannibal, Ahmad and Mainu have done very well. Mainu could be a backup at 8. Ahmad back up to Anthony and push him good. Young talent, Mount did okay, says Noah. Again, controversial, but I'm going to say it. I don't like the fact that people are going, let's keep Hannibal, let's keep Mainu, let's do Ahmad. I mean, you may as well get a Glazers In t-shirts. We can't just fill the holes in the team with young players. And Ten Hag won't do that anyway. He's already said you've got to be first team quality to get into my team. So that won't happen. But we've got to buy players as well. Let's not forget that. Mainu already looks more comfortable playing CDM than McTominay ever has. Ahmad should be kept as backup to Anthony this coming season, says J90. All I can take from this half is that we need a number 9. ASAP, says 1. Well, look, we are here in Norway with no number 9. You're right. James Delaney, welcome to the Members Club. And, it's a little bit disappointing in a sense, isn't it? Because we know the goalkeeper's going to come in, but we're playing a game of football without a number 9. And I know it's only a pre-season game, and ultimately we won't get any points for it. But it's difficult for Sancho. It's difficult for Ahmad. It's difficult for Hannibal. It's difficult for Mount. When you're playing in a team without a number 9, I don't know whether you've ever done it. Maybe you've had a game of FIFA and you haven't got a striker. It doesn't matter whether it's pre-season or the cup final. It's difficult to play a game of football when you haven't got a number 9, because it's a bit like it's difficult to play when you're missing one of your centre backs. I'm not talking about being down to 10 men. I'm saying you're putting a player at centre back who's not a centre back. It's difficult. A number 9 has a very specific set of skills. And many people think it's about putting the ball in the back of that, but it's not. It's about intelligence. It's about not being caught offside. It's about physically roughing up your centre-backs, occupying your centre-backs. It's about how you press. It's about link-up play. And if you haven't got a player that can do those things, well, midfielders are used to having that. Wingers are used to having that. So, look, I think the team's done well. It is only pre-season, but there is a massive hole in that team, and it's the striker. Hello, Mark. It's weird we've done that from Pizza. Ahmad, man of the match so far, in my opinion. What's yours, says Paul. I mean, I wouldn't say it was scintillating, stand-out man of the match, but he's certainly the player that stood out the most. Robble says, I know it's still early in pre-season, but I can't deal with another season of Sancho underperforming and making the wrong decisions in the final third, says Robble. Find him a club then, mate, because there's nowhere for him to go. The abuse aimed at Sancho from our own fans is disgusting, says Showtime. Where is this abuse? Genuine question. Where is this abuse? Because I haven't seen it in our community. And, at the end of the day, he's playing out of position. And Jose says, if Ahmad and Garnacho are the dream substitute wingers, where does that leave Sancho if Rashford and Antony are starters, says Jose. Well, it's a good point, but I suppose the rescue service is that if we don't buy a striker or we only buy one, Rashford will end up playing up front. Therefore, Sancho could get on the left wing again. Chris says Sancho's bad on the left, horrible on the right, and putrid down the middle. Get rid. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. I mean, look, in my opinion, when Sancho went to the left, he looked a bit better. But putting him up front at number 9, somebody had to do it today. Look, playing as also as well, tactically, I said this in the first half, tactically, have you seen anything innovative from United there? No. It's the same. It's the same as we played last year. Back 4, one holding, one box to box, one a little bit more advanced, 2 wide men and a striker. We're trying to create chances by hitting diagonals to the wingers or balls over the top. We're not trying to get into the final third and be patient with the ball. Welcome to the Members Club, Stuart. We are playing exactly the same tactics as last season, and the reason we're doing that is because it's familiar, and he hasn't got his first team back anyway, and he hasn't got his new signings in yet. So we're playing exactly the same way. If we're playing exactly the same way as last season, that means the graveyard shift is the number 9. So even if you're a striker, it's a graveyard shift, and Jadon Sancho's not a striker and still in the graveyard shift. So, I feel for Sancho because he is not and never will be a number 9 or a false 9. He just won't be. So I think the criticism is a little bit unfair. I did the analogy on pressing. Running around isn't pressing. Running around fast isn't pressing, and he doesn't know how to do it. And to be fair, I don't think anybody else is we're not engaging a team press either. Watch that game. If you want to watch that 45 minutes back, there's not a press being instigated by a team there. We're not pressing them in. Gunnar, welcome to the Members Club, or Gunnar. Eric Ten Hag will like Hannibal's pressing ability, says Ola. There's been a couple of examples of individuals pressing. Mount did it, Hannibal did it, but we're not pressing well as a team. Interesting question. What do you think? How do you see the progress of the pre-season in relation to players? Obviously, there'll be a lot of players coming back for the USA. I think he will continue to play a game of 2 halves for a while. Obviously, we'll see a different team in the second half. I think we'll see that continue next week in Scotland. Then we play Arsenal, where I think he'll do it again. Then we play Wrexham, where he'll play the youth, because the 24 hours later we play Real Madrid, where I think he'll play the seniors. And then from that point, I think the seniors will start to get more game time. So, yeah, I think that's how it'll be. It'll be 45 minutes each up until we play Wrexham, and then he'll start, playing a little bit more. But I don't know whether everybody answered. Who are playing in Scotland? Leon. I think we're playing Leon in Scotland. I don't know whether anybody answered the question, but I don't think the internationals are back in training yet, are they? I don't think Maguire, Bruno, Lindelof are back yet, and I don't know when they are back. You couldn't get... welcome to United Stand. 2 live chats, one after the other. Patrick says Mason Mount is everywhere. Huff says Mount is awful. It's sort of welcome to Manchester, Mason. Stuart Pratwell, welcome to Members Club. Gunnar as well. Eric Ten Hag, yeah, we've done that one from Ola as well. Brian says Mount is a 10. He's not playing as a 10. He's playing the Ericsson role. And ultimately, that's what he's been bought to do. There's absolutely no way that Mason Mount has been... We've spent £55 million on a Bruno replacement. Mason Mount is coming into the team to play the Ericsson role. And this is why I have said, if we play with Mount, Casemiro and Bruno against decent teams, we will get torn apart. There has to be more discipline in that midfield. But at home, against the lower league teams, I think it could work quite well. If I was Maguire, I'd be back early for pre-season, says Brad. He might be. He might be. I don't know. He's a faster Ericsson, says Anshu, and we need that. Hi Mark, watching my first ever Man United game versus Arsenal in New York. I'm very excited, says Isaiah. And I tell you what, I'm looking forward to watching those games as well. The stadia is always so impressive, and it's amazing how many people actually turn up for it as well. Same old Sancho losing the ball and doing too much, says Al. And to think Sancho was promised the number 7 shirt once upon a time, says CV. Yeah, please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We're very close to 689,000. What's going to happen in the second half? I'll be very surprised if we see any of the players from the first half in the second half. We've got 2 goalkeepers on the bench, so I can't see that happening. There's a lot of players that can play second half. I don't think he'll play anyone from the first half. Sancho is now starting to get a lot of stick in our chat, which is a bit disappointing. He's not going to go anywhere. Look, the problem is he's not going to go anywhere. Robert McCormack always has an interesting take. Says Mount is good, but he's totally different to Ericsson. So second half should be kicking off soon. Hey, we're only 2 subscribers away from 689,000. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Thanks everyone for getting involved. So let's keep an eye on what's going to happen in the second half. Well, here they come. Absolutely nobody from the first half is on the pitch. Let me just show you the subs. And a lot of these players will be playing. Bishop, Bennett, Fish, Gerardo, Williams, Brandon Williams, you'll know him. Collier's one to keep an eye out for. There's Charlie Savage as well. Gore, Hansen, Oyedele, Savage, Shoretile, Emeran, Hugel. Now, the interesting thing is, from a Leeds point of view, they're quite experienced. Their team is quite experienced that they've got out in this half. So, yeah, could be a very interesting second half for United here. Patrick Bamford's playing. Ayling's there. I think Firpo will be on as well. So a real challenge for some of these younger players. Charlie Savage is captain. Remember, he was on loan. Was he on loan at Forest Green last year? Yeah, so, yeah, good opportunity. And this, in some ways, these younger United players, and I really like Daniel Gore, by the way. Let's really hope that he can do something. In some ways, these players have a better chance to shine than those in the first half because they're going to be playing against better players. So we're ready to go for the second half. Referee. Is he going to kick it off? And we do. Brandon Williams is playing at left back. Never understood why he's never asked to play at right back, considering he's right-footed. Fish and Bennett are the centre-back. Gerardo is at centre-back. Hansen, Gore and Savage as the midfield three. Emeran, Hugel and Shoretire as the front three. Shoretire's an interesting one, isn't he? I mean, he was a Solskjaer player, wasn't he? I think he went on loan last year as well. Don't remember how it went. Shoretire, where did Shoretire go on loan last year? Bolton. They did all right. I don't know how much he played. Well, yeah, one of the centre-backs, Fish, he's off back to Hibs on loan, isn't he? So, Aronson's a player that a lot of people talk about. Number 59. Oh, good shot there by Gore, blocked. Here's Aronson. Gore again. Nice ball. Nice distribution. Gerardo. Trying to find Shoretire. Goes out for a goal kick. Happy birthday to Luke Shaw, says Tight. How's it? Weather. Hay says it's pissing it down in Scotland. How about in England? I don't know. I can't see because I can't see out window. But it has been on and off the last couple of days. I think it's been raining in Norway as well. Has the team been changed, says Condiment King? Yeah, the whole lot has changed. We've subbed a lot. Good start here from United. Oh my God, I've just seen on Twitter, you know, life is so predicting in this fan base. I've just seen on Twitter, beyond the Sancho story, people are starting to now say that with Onana coming into the team, right centre-back Varane is a weakness we need to improve. Oh God. Who are these hipsters? What the fuck? Is it because he's not got a British passport? I mean, we literally move from one foreign issue to another, don't we? We now need to start looking at a Varane. Look, it might be a low level, it might become a big thing, but yeah, Varane is now the next problem in the team. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. We haven't. Some people need to remind these people we haven't got a fucking striker. We haven't got a Casemiro backup. We haven't even bought an Arnie yet. Somebody just said, I don't think it's because of their nationality. Well, I can say what I want, and I do think it is because of their nationality, because it happens all the time. Good energy from United again in the first 10 minutes. We saw that in the first half, and we're seeing it again in the second half here. Beth's in Oslo. She says, Ahmad looks sharp. Mount will be key. Maino has a bright season ahead. Sancho is blending in with the youth players. Great to see Varane and Leach back. Hannibal looks ready. Oh, God, Beth. Fucking hell. That's unbelievable analysis. And she's at the game as well. Hannibal looks ready. Sancho is blending in with the youth players. I'd almost say, tell me you weren't at the game without telling me you weren't at the game. Well, it's all about opinion. Respect. Mount will be key next season. I mean, how can you tell that at 45 minutes in a pre-season game against Leeds? That's what I mean. I think, look, maybe it's an age thing. I don't know. I'm not being ageist, but how can you start saying those things after 45 minutes in a pre-season against Leeds? Hannibal looks ready. Sancho's linking up well with the youth. And Mason Mount's going to be key next season. You only need to add in that Varane needs replacing. And you've got the complete and utter, you know what it is? I think some people just need to make a decision off whatever it is they're watching. Like, when I watched Breaking Bad, I've got to be honest, the first 3 or 4 episodes, I was like, I don't know. I only kept watching it because everyone told me it was really good. And it did get really good. But you don't, you can't be making decisions about... Hannibal's ready. Hannibal won't be anything to do with United. I don't think he'll even be here in August. I'll tell you that for free. Hannibal is not going to be part of United's team next season. Not going to happen. He's only there because we need some players for pre-season. Only reason Brandon Williams is still at United is because he's Tyson Fury's cousin, says Joshua Bowwater. Is he? Never even knew that. Mainu and Hannibal must start some games next season. Both have played brilliant, says Alec. You see, Alec, this is it. I'm probably in the minority. I don't know whether Beth and Ryan were drinking before the game. I don't know. Hey, look, it's all about opinion. It's all about opinion. I'd rather... You know what? The great thing is I'd rather people had different opinions and I could have a debate with them than have no opinion. Exactly. This is the comment for me. Does no one remember Iqbal last year? Nick, it's pre-season Perlo, and I don't know why people fall into the trap, but they always do. 45 minutes of a player. Oh, they're going to be massive next season. Iqbal last year, what happened to him? And I thought Iqbal looked really good in pre-season last year. Hannibal looks ready. I have got a match reaction. I won't be saying that. I'm with Elijah. I don't think Hannibal or Mainu are anywhere near ready. Nowhere near. Absolutely none. You imagine putting Hannibal or Mainu up against Rodri and De Bruyne. They'd absolutely... We'd be 4-0 down in 10 minutes. You've got to nurture your youth. You've got to protect them. And as for Sancho linking up well, that's exactly what he didn't do, unfortunately. Pete says Hannibal would get destroyed in the Prem. I'll be surprised if Hannibal ever plays in the Premier League in his whole career. I don't think his development's at that level yet. Um, 55 minutes. Very pre-season feel to this at the moment. I think the younger United players have actually done quite well, considering this is a more experienced Leeds side. There's Brandon Williams, who really should be one of the senior pros in this team. And absolutely should not be at Man United anymore. A pre-season without Pereira and Lingard is no pre-season at all, says Veghorse. Where is Veghorst? Has he gone to Burnley? Nice play by Leeds. Wide it goes. Corner. Brandon Williams needs to go, says Pedro. I'm surprised he's still at the club. I mean, I'm really surprised. Eric Ten Hag knows his football. I'm really surprised Brandon Williams is still here. I mean, he was here last. People forget he was here all of last season and never got a look in, did he? I don't really understand why he's still here. Oh, good header, just wide by Leeds from a corner. Main who needs a loan, maybe championships, is Emily Derry. Well, looking at the way it went for Ahmad last year, I think that's the progression, isn't it, as a youth player? Unless you're lucky enough to do what Garnacho did and go straight into the first team, I think the obvious thing is, you get your loan. And Hannibal ended the season on Birmingham's bench, says Robert. Well, look, I live just south of Birmingham. I know a lot of Birmingham fans and a lot of Villa fans. And Troy Deeney. I did a few shows with Troy Deeney on the Ben Foster fill-in, and I was always asking him about Hannibal and Chong. It's interesting, Chong's gone to Luton today, £4 million. We get $1 million cash back. But no, he said about Hannibal, there's a decent player there, but he's got a hell of a lot to learn. So yeah, it didn't go great for him. Pre-season, okay. Mainu needs a loan. Realistically, I'd be excited to see Mainu get some minutes in the Carabao. I don't throw him to the Lions, says Yusuf. And TJ says, this is against the relegated Leeds. Only thing Hannibal looks ready to do is go back to Birmingham, says TJ. I think we'll sell him this summer. Yeah, I think Hannibal will get sold. Joe Hugel playing up front. Charlie McNeil. Don't know where Charlie McNeil is, actually. Don't think he travelled. Might be injured. Enjoying Kovar's confidence, says Cedric. He had a good season, Kovar, on loan, didn't he? Played first team football as well. My heart goes out to everyone living in Birmingham, says Dan. Joe Hugel and Charlie McNeil in the youth setup both looked really interesting. But, yeah, both a long way off. Long way off. Certainly Premier League football. You could argue Championship football. There's a lot of development still needed for those two. Charlie McNeil's training doesn't get picked for Oslo. TJ says, I agree. For a lot of these players, it's an audition for a Championship loan. Well, you know what? We watch this as United fans, but there'll be a lot of Championship scouts watching these types of games as well. Dan says it's gone quiet on Onana. What's happening, says Dan. Well, we're not going to announce Onana when we're playing a pre-season game. So, I mean, if we're going to announce Onana, it'll probably be tonight or probably more tomorrow. But remember, it's not going to be official. It's going to be here we go, isn't it? Robert McCormack says surely he'll bring Harry Kane on soon. Why is there so many friendlies, says Turco. Obviously, Ten Hag wants it. A lot of people talking about Taremi. If you want to come and take a ride with me. Oh, apparently Taremi's agent has been at Carrington. I don't know. But the replies are hilarious. I'd rather have a Garlo. If we're buying Taremi, we're absolutely screwed. And I'm not gonna lie about this. I said it when we got Cavani. Like, if you're going to keep buying these dead end strikers, no problem with the talent, but like we can't keep doing this. We can't keep buying strikers for a manager that develops people and wants to build a long-term plan. There's Zlatan, Ronaldo, Cavani, Weghorst, you know, all these strikers that we keep bringing in. You can't keep putting a plaster on a wound that needs surgery. You know, we can't keep doing that. But at the end of the day, Taremi's agent might represent other players as well. It's very rare that one agent represents one player, and people might be getting running away with themselves there. Is Brandon Williams. Terrible pass again. He's played about 3 like that. And Leeds are in with Bamford. Wanted a handball, didn't get it. Mark, you missed the embargoed section of Beth's comments. Hannibal looks ready to be sold. Ahmad looks sharp with his new haircut, says Nick B. Oh, look, I like Beth. She has different opinions. We obviously had a bit of a, differing opinion on the goalkeeping situation, which she seems to think she won, but I never remember her talking about Onana. It was always about Costa. Is the Felix news true? Says Russ. João Felix is looking for a loan deal. Yeah. I don't think United have got the money to do that. They're struggling. These young players are struggling. They're struggling to make anything happen against a team that's a lot more experienced than them. Jenks says, are you ecstatic about Højlund? Thanks for the super chats, by the way. Remember, you can do that through the $sign. Appreciate those. AK says, we're a broke club buying broke players. Kovar's looked all right. I mean, I don't know if that's... Charlie Savage needs to bulk up. How old's Charlie Savage? He needs to bulk up a bit. Still looks very much like a kid. If you're going to play in that midfield, you've got to bulk up a bit. Still only 19. He's got plenty of time. Here's a nice ball into Hugel. Does all right. Comes back. Gets in each other's way. I'd be fuming. Amundsen got in his way there. Dom, thanks for your super chat. Aston Villa have completed the signing of Pau Torres. I thought they'd already done it. What the hell is that by Brandon Williams? Just go and play it right back, mate. He can't pass. You can get Nketiah for 50 million, says NOU, if you persist. Pink boots. He's got the pink boots on. Hugel. Hi, Mark. Is it better to agree personal terms first before agreeing with the club, or other way around, says EG? No, you do personal. If you're signing a player, so imagine United want to sign Rasmus Højlund. You don't go to Atalanta first, because if you go to Atalanta first and they say, yeah, we'll sell him, and then you talk to Højlund and he goes, no, I don't want to sign for you. You've wasted all that time. Plus, if you go to the player and they say, I want to come to you, and then you go to the club and you say, look, they want to come to us, so let's do a deal. The club can be arses about it, but you've already won the battle because the player wants to come. So you always do it through the player. Is Mount performing well, says Dom? If he is, he's in the shower. I mean, he played first half, he did okay. Don't know whether it's true, but Pav says that Taremi's agent is the same as João Felix. Oh my God. I've just done a Google search. You won't believe this, right? Now, granted, it's in the Daily Star. Manchester United legend Rio Ferdinand is reportedly in contact with Mehdi Taremi's agent over a potential transfer to the Premier League. He's helping the striker secure a move to the Premier League. A report by Portuguese outlet A Bola claims Man United legend Ferdinand has signed a contract with Taremi's agent to help him find a move to a top Premier League club. Never heard this before. Rio said, I know him quite well. I've spoken to him on the phone a few times. He's a really good guy. I knew him from a bit of business. United have scored! United have scored there. Emeran, he took it well. 1-0 to United. I need to see who played the pass, but he took it well, and United leads. Well done, lads. Well taken. That's what we need to go off somewhere else and have a look at stuff. Emeran with the goal. Let's have a look. Aronson. Lovely ball by Aronson. Slips him in. Onto his left foot. Took it well. Took it well. Nice little ball by Aronson. And Emeran scores the goal. There we go. Bit of confidence for the youth players. Clearly offside. I think with VAR he might have been offside, but it was... you're not going to get that in a pre-season game. Distracted Bridge, says Tim. I was looking at that Taremi news. I was trying to find out who else Taremi's agent represents. L Doctor 69 says, I've played the game and we're winning the league with this team. What do you think about Emeran? Don't know anything about him, really. I've got to be honest. Last season, fair play if you followed the youth. It was such a relentless season last year, wasn't it? 3 games a week, World Cup. I didn't watch the youth last year, and I'll be honest about it. So I don't really know much about Emeran. Beth probably will say, let's sell Anthony and use Emeran. He's the next Ronaldo, but I don't know. Aronson's assist was good. He's a player that a lot of people talk about. Cocaine Mitch just said the little Norwegian guy is really good. Yeah, he has got a really good reputation. Dan James. Just realised. Handanovic is a free agent from Inter. You think United would go for him on a free as a backup to Onana? Says Sig. Not unless he can play out from the back. Oh, I need to change the scorecard. I do, you're right. What? Get rid of that. How do I... Oh, yeah. It's been so long since I've done this. We'll have the automatic system back working by next week. Not used to it. Here's the free kick from Shoretire straight into the wall. I mean, to be fair, Leeds have not done a lot. Aronson is a very talented. Hope he develops further and gets a starting position in the team eventually, says MOT. Shoretire, says Walid, was a youth player once he replaced Rooney. A few years later, Shoretire is still a youth player. Am I doing player ratings? Well, I can do. Angel Gomez came on for Rooney, you're right, yeah. Wayne Brooks says Brandon Williams is on £3.5 million a year and he's crap. 50 grand a week apparently, which is 200 grand a month. So yeah, it won't be 3.5 million. Fabrizio tweet about PSG being interested in Højlund. Are you worried about it? There is no way United's going to win a transfer battle against any other clubs, says Ansherman. Rasmus Højlund wants to sign for Manchester United. Doesn't want to sign for PSG. But if Man United don't offer money for him and PSG do, then... Yeah. Ronan says, when are the Twitch streams back? I don't know that they will be, mate. I don't know. Way too busy at the moment. But it always goes mad in July, to be fair. 50 grand a week. Bloody hell. A lot of money. A lot of money. Somebody's just come back from work. Who you prefer, Højlund or Martial? Definitely Højlund, Philip, because he stays fit for longer. Good play by Leeds. Wins a corner. I'll tell you what, I feel like this is pre-season for me, though. Because I'm feeling quite fatigued. It's hard. Would you keep Kovar as the reserve goalkeeper? Why is it that all the outfield players are on trial? You know, why can one of the goalkeepers not step up and be given an opportunity as well? Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, he had a decent loan last season, and here's United on the attack. Why can he not get an opportunity this time? Corner to United. Youth have done all right, second half. Leeds have been quite snoozy. Here we go. Cross comes in. Headed away. Just reading your chats, deciding which ones to read. Nice ball here. Leeds. Cleared away. Oh, side netting. Hit that one well. I thought it was in. From Leeds, not us. Fabrizio to have done that one. Thank you very much. Yeah, I need this pre-season as well. I've had 4 or 5 weeks of just doing 45-minute streams. This one's been a 2.5 hour stream. I forget how hard it is. It's really hard to read and chat for 2.5 hours on your own. I need to get up for it. Taremi would be a great signing as long as we also sign Haaland as happy. But what? I'm going to be honest here. Why is he a great signing? Why are we buying a player who is never going to be the future, is going to be a bench sitter that no other big team wants because he's cheap? It's the same as, I'm sorry, I don't think it's a great signing. I think it's a Glazer signing. I would rather buy nobody and just get Højlund than get Højlund and Taremi because could be a goal for Leeds. No, he stopped it on the line. Bamford, I think, was offside anyway. I agree with Bradley. I'd get Felix on loan and Højlund. At least that's better than actually buying an old striker. Fabrizio has given an update from Inzaghi, the Inter coach, who says Onana to Manchester United. He's an Inter player today, and he's called up for our pre-season camp tomorrow. That doesn't mean Onana's called up and said, "Can I come on the tour?" That's Inzaghi saying he's been called up to go on the pre-season camp. Yeah. João Felix has an offer from Aston Villa. Be a brilliant signing for Aston Villa. Absolutely brilliant signing from Aston Villa. But I'm not meant to be dancing. But I said this before. I said that, you know, there's a very real chance that Aston Villa could have a better summer transfer window than us. Veghorst says, "How's your back at the moment?" It's doing okay. Is the summer going well so far? Any holidays planned? Says Rory. I had a little break. I had a little weekend break at the end of June. And I have got another 3 or 4 day break coming soon. But I never tell you when it is, because then it's a nice surprise. But it won't impact on any watch-alongs or anything like that. Sig says that Handanovic is a free agent. You think United should get him? No, we did that one. And no, I don't. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. I think we hit 689,000, but I'm not sure. Who's this Will Fish guy? Seems to be getting a lot of praise from the commentators and just tuning in on how was Mount, says Stuart Walker. Well, Will Fish is going to go on loan to Hibs, which is where he was last year. He's got no future at United. And Mount did all right for about 15-20 minutes, which is pretty much what United did as well. Here's Dan James on the right-hand side. Meep, meep. Oh, he's just gone past the defender like they weren't there and shoots over the bar. Dan James, another Solskjaer signing. Hello.
Hello, bye.
What, are you going football?
Yeah.
That's good. What's it sound about? Ronaldo.
And also, Ronaldo has got 1 and the White has got 0.
Yeah, Man United have got 1. Ronaldo's not the boss anymore. He doesn't play here anymore.
Bruno.
He's not playing either. Who else? Don't say that name I don't like.
I know, Harry Maguire.
What?
Rashford.
No, I like Rashford. Who's the other one?
Harry Maguire.
Yeah, we don't say that one, do we?
Well, where is Harry Maguire?
He's training 3 times a day, trying to get good. Think it'll work?
And yeah, and also where is
No,
he?
you can't say yeah. What? Do you think Harry Maguire's going to get good?
Yeah.
Why?
He can get good.
Can he?
Yeah.
Apparently we're haters. Enjoy football.
Okay.
Apparently we hate Harry Maguire. It's all about opinion. It's all about, you've got to let them make their own mistakes. I didn't know everything at 6. That was probably the highlight of the half. Didn't we sign Dan James because Ollie's mate Ryan Giggs said he was good enough, says Henry? Yeah, well, we were mate rates, weren't we? Joe Hugel's just scored. Oh, I'm so pleased for him. I'm so pleased for him. I thought he was offside. He's still smiling. They haven't changed the score yet. He did look offside. Well, they're clearly giving it. It's 2-0 and it's Hugel. Get in. I like Joe Hugel. I do like him. I don't know what his future's going to be. but I like Hugel. He's a good lad. Let's watch it back. It comes from that right-hand side again. Now he's miles on. It's an assist for Emeran as well. Took it well. Took it well. Bad Leeds defending. Emeran cuts inside, whips the cross in. Joe Hugel's unmarked. Finishes it low in those pink boots. Emeran's got that sort of St. Maximum style of being a winger, hasn't he? He's got them sharp turns and stuff. But I'm really pleased. I mean, look, you know, people say pre-season's boring, but, you know, Joe Hugel's a good lad. And, you know, that'll be a big moment for him scoring in a game like that. 2-0 is nice. And I think Seb gets the assist for that one. Mark, I've been in Warzone in the last 3 months. Remember us in your prayers, says Chung. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. For your contribution. I thought you were talking about the computer game actually for a moment. So I'm glad I read the full message, and obviously, you know, stay safe. Chance says Mark's not having it about him getting good. Oh, he never. You know what? He's got Steb's got these little. It's not a sticker book. It's like a card book, and he hasn't got many Man United players. In fact, you know what Man United players he's got? I felt sorry for him. Right, he had Harry Maguire. Jadon Sancho, and I was like, this ain't looking good, and then he got Casemiro. But the thing is, he remembers the names, like he knows Bruno and stuff, but I was like, you know, he talks about Harry Maguire all the time because he's got the card, and I'm like, there's a lot better, you know, there's Varane, there's Martinez, but now he's got Casemiro, it's a bit better. But you know, he likes Harry Maguire because, you know, he's only 6, so he's got no bad filter. You know, he just sees the positivity in football and footballers, and just thinks, well, they play football for Man United, they must be brilliant. And you know, I'm not gonna burst his bubble, not at 6. I'm happy and nervous for the next season. Stand by Eric Ten Hag no matter what. I like Seb's confidence with Harry Maguire. Thanks for everything, says Bryce. Our youth team is very in sync, not gonna lie, says Jay. Do you think Eric Ten Hag is using this to put some players in the shop window? Well, whether he wants to put them in the shop window or not, they are going in the shop window, because that's, as I said, there'll be a lot of scouts from the Championship watching these types of games to see if there are players. And they'll do it with the Liverpool games as well. They'll do it with the Man City games especially. There'll be a lot of scouts in the Championship looking at whether there's any bargains that you can get hold of ahead of the new season, because United will certainly be looking to move some players on. You can't keep them all. You can't keep them all. You can't always get what you want. Mark, okay, I've done that one. Thanks for all the new members as well. Seb hasn't played the game, says Sam. And also had another super chat from Sean Thornton. I wish we all had that innocence. Harry has changed the way I view the wider world, has made cynics of us all, says Sean. Yeah, it is quite sad actually, isn't it? The innocence of just seeing the positivity. Scoreboard, mate, says Philip. Oh, God, I forgot about the obsession with the scoreboard. I can't wait to get it fixed next week. It'll all be fixed next week. We'll have the stats and everything back for you. We just got caught on the hop a little bit today. There is a match reaction after this, yes. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Here we come down the right-hand side again. Emeran's probably been the standout player in the second half, hasn't he? I would say. Goal and an assist. Can't argue with that. How good is United's youth? It's not that good, really. Yeah, we've got some good players in our youth, but results-wise, we're a bit, we're nowhere near the level of like a Man City. But United are always hopefully going to produce good players. But yeah, our youth setup it's not the best in the country. Leeds have been quite poor. Same thing happened last year, though. I remember, who did we play last year? Was it Villa, Palace? I think I expected better from them, and they weren't that good. Fair play to us for being that good. I mean, first half was a little bit more equal, but the second half the players have done their bit. Brandon Williams there. A better ball into Hugo, who's offside. A lot of offsides. Suppose you probably expect that. Ahmad's on fire. Your defence is terrified. Ahmad's on fire. Bum 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 bum. Emeren's better than Sancho. Well, we'll talk about that in the match reaction. I think there's a bit of an overreaction to some performances, both positively and negatively, which is always the case. What's the capacity, Mark, says Clive? I don't know. Kovar's looked quite good. Yeah. Look, the bluntness here is that if you think Emeren's good enough for the first team and you think we should sell Jadon Sancho, football's not for you. If you think Kovar should be the backup goalkeeper and we should be selling, using Mainu as the backup centre midfielder, football's not for you. You cannot judge players on 45 minutes in the pre-season. You cannot judge a player on 90 minutes in a Carabao Cup game. That's just not how it works. So what we're looking for here is signs. But even then, Ten Hag might ignore it. As we said, Iqbal, pre-season last year, consistently played well. Never got a look in. Never even got a loan move. The manager decides, not us. Brandon Williams has been good, says King. Looking forward to a new season with Eric, who hopefully no Glazers soon, and also the United stand. Thanks, Mark, and the community, says Neil Farmer. Thank you, mate. I think Brandon Williams has been crap, in my opinion, but it's all about opinion. I don't know why he plays at left back. He's so right-footed. If he tried to hop on his left leg, I think he'd fall over. I don't know why he plays at right back. I don't know who's made that decision in his whole career, because the player doesn't choose. You don't go, I only want to play at left back. I don't know why he plays at left back. He should be playing at right back. He's right-footed. Who's been your standout players here? I think a lot of these players look like they've played together, which is great, which is obvious as well. They've played as a bunch of players that know each other, and I think that this happened on tour last year with the youth. Although you thought they were going to find themselves in trouble against more experienced players, I think because they have played together, it helps them, and they have shown fluidity, and they have been the better team. What do you think about Shoretire? I think Shoretire and Williams, they've got to go. They've got no future at the club, but hopefully some of these players do. Oh Oh, he's at the post from across. Is it Bennett or Fish? It doesn't matter. It's the last action of the game. Emeran, the standout player, goal and assist. Can't do himself any harm there. Hugo got a goal as well. Very nearly got a goal, another goal as well there. Ten Hag shakes hands with Farke. May even be a chat from the Leeds manager about whether he can have some of their players, you know. He might be saying that. But all in all, job done for Manchester United. It's pre-season. A lot of people asking about Mason Mount. We'll do a match reaction for you. Literally, I'll jump over there and do it now. Don't forget OneFootball. They've sponsored the show today. Download it for free. Links in the video description or scan the QR code. And I'll see you straight away across on the match reaction. We may as well just jump over and do it. I'll see you over there in a minute. Thanks everyone for watching.